All right, obviously big win for us this past Saturday against Kennesaw State here at CG Bank Field and Roy Kidd Stadium, and really proud for our seniors and all of our football team. You know, I think the guys that have stuck around and been around here for six years, 5 years, you know, and 4 years have gone through a lot. And you know, a conference championship and a playoff bid is the culmination of all the hard work that they've put in. You know, I'm proud of our staff and the work that they've done to get these men to the point that they are now. And we're excited about the opportunity this Saturday to host a playoff game at CG Bank Field and Roy Kidd Stadium against a really good Gardner-Webb team. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Hey there, Walt. Appreciate the time. Just wanted to ask you about the growth of this team, you know, from game one, you know, just throughout the season till now. Are there any specific areas where you think you guys have grown the most or shown most improvement from even August practices to where you guys find yourself now in the playoffs?
I think, you know, the one thing that showed up for us and was a consistent for us was the depth that we have on our football team. And I think, you know, with some injuries that we've had come about, you know, both offensively and primarily defensively, I think you've seen a lot of men step up and learn and understand what they're doing and do their job and make plays for us with key guys that are out, you know, guys like Joe Sales and guys like Dak Allen and there's many more than that. And, you know, we've had a revolving door a little bit on defense, and I'm just really proud of how the older players help the younger players and how they've continued to push through all that. And then, you know, I think as you watch offensively, I mean, Tuck's sitting in here, we've got guys playing hurt and that are fighting through hard, and I'm just really pleased with that.
Coach, you know, last night you told us that with the ESPN being there, it's going to be kind of a different setup. You know, talking about the Colonel walk and everything else. Will that affect maybe the game day pattern for you guys, or will you kind of just do the same thing, just in a different route?
No, we'll do it. Everything will be the same, except for instead of taking the right to go in front of the Moberly building, we'll go straight across in front of the Erdman Center, and then take a right and go right through the Warncliffe Club tailgate and RV lot right into where we normally walk into. We won't be able to walk by Coach's statue, but other than that, Coach Kidd's statue. But other than that, we'll be able to do what we need to do.
And that was my other question. Speaking of Coach Kidd, have you talked to him any yet? And you know, what has he told you about going into the playoffs? Giving you any advice? I
talked to him on Monday. It might have been Sunday. I can't remember what day it was. Right after you know, the next day. Usually we talk every week. He came to my luncheon last week, so he had a friend coming in from Corbin that was 100 years old. So they had to get together and meet up at my luncheon, which was pretty unique and fun to watch. But no, Coach is extremely happy and proud for me and our football team and EKU. I mean, I think everybody knows how much he loves EKU and how much he loves EKU football. And he was at the game Saturday. He's been at every home game that I can maybe missed one. But other than that, he's been at every home game, and we talk every week. And you know, coaches always give him good advice, and you know, you got to listen to it, and you if you're smart, you listen to it, and you try to make sure you can apply it if it's applicable. And you know, he was just happy that we're back in the playoffs, and you know, obviously he wants us to win and do the things that we need to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, well, you were just talking about there kind of, you know, the ESPN set up the occasion of playing in the playoffs for the first time in so long. Just what goes into, I guess, making sure everyone has the right mentality to adjust to what's a new and exciting situation for so many members of your football team?
Well, I think the biggest thing is this group of men, if they've been here, has never played on Thanksgiving Day or practice on Thanksgiving Day, excuse me. And so, you know, we got the routine of not going home. You know, usually, you know, in years past, Tuesday they packed up, they're gone, and we'll see the ones that are coming back. We said goodbye to the seniors and we move on, and we're not to that yet. And I think that's a great thing for our players to to experience. I mean, because practicing on Thanksgiving is a great thing. We're going to have a big Thanksgiving family meal for all our football team and everybody that's involved, everybody that supports it. You know, Rickson's invited. Rickson can't go home to South Carolina this weekend now, and so he's disappointed. And so I'm just kidding when I say disappointed. It's just a lot of firsts for them, but for us, the routine is going to stay the same except for our Thursday practice. We're going to go in the morning instead of going in the afternoon.
For you personally, how fulfilling has this season been with how it began, and now it's you're to this point, and then this program's back in the playoffs for the first time in 8 years?
Well, I mean, I'm happy for EKU. I'm happy for all the former players. I'm happy for our current players that put in the work to do this. I'm happy for Coach Kidd. I'm happy for Matt Rohn, who's given us great support. And for me, I'm blessed to be here. I'm lucky. I think about it all the time, probably too much sometimes, but it's something that you just can't get over. You got to learn to deal with and move forward, but it's a good thing because you're actually blessed and you're thankful. So, for how it started to coming back, 4 or 5 days later and getting back in the fold with them and jumping in there and watching us beat Bowling Green State, and then just throughout the season, the ups and downs that we've had, but we had a lot more ups and downs, and God's blessed me, and I'm happy to be here.
Tucker, it's a big deal for this program to be back here, and you've been a part of, having chances to be here. What does it mean for you to personally finally get a chance to play in the postseason?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Being here for as long as I have been, and along with some of the other guys, you always talk about it and you always want to do it. And we've been so close so many times, and to finally kind of break through that wall and give ourselves an opportunity to make some noise in postseason play is cool. And I think what's so unique about it though is like we're here now and we don't really feel like too shell shocked. It's like, all right, let's play, let's get a few games, let's go and see where it takes us, maybe all the way to Frisco. So that's our goal, and that's what we're looking for.
Oh, in the video of y'all celebrating, it was you and Matt was next to you. There was Dak kind of on the side. You guys have been here, and Shane as well.
Yeah.
But this is really what you guys stuck around for, was to get this program to this level. What are you guys saying internally, you four especially, about, finally having that chance to, and I know Dak's out, but finally having that chance to do this together. And I feel like for you all, it might mean a bit more because you've been here for a while and you've seen the ups and downs of the program and you stuck around to get here.
Right. I mean, you kind of you rewind a little bit to this point last year. Us, that group of guys you're mentioning, Dak, Matt, Shane, myself, we were questioning if we're going to come back. We have our 5th year. We had our extra COVID year, and there was a lot of questions on what we wanted to do, and had a lot of buy-in, and we all got back together, and it worked out for us. Yeah, I mean, those guys are, like I said, I've been there since summer of 2017, back in McGregor Hall, and I remember being on the 5th floor with those guys, and just like, I would have never imagined like where we're at now, back then. So you could ask those guys too about some of those times in that dorm. But yeah, just being with those guys and being able to finally kind of reap what we've sowed a little bit. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, you guys have changed a lot. You went from, boys and kids coming out of high school to me. And I think it's what Coach Schroeder talked about a lot with you too, what you guys have done. You've been a big reason for this. Congratulations, man. I appreciate the time.
Really appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you.
Tucker, you mentioned it there just about, kind of deciding to come back for another season and to have this be the end result. When you go back and think about the process of deciding whether to come back or whether to go, I guess kind of what was going through your mind during that decision-making process? And was this kind of what you had imagined in your head, a playoff appearance and a chance to maybe get to Frisco?
Yeah, absolutely. I think was the major factor. You you realize how close you were the year prior, and you know what you have coming back and what pieces we're adding, and just some of the things, that the processes in which Coach Wells puts into us, and the things that we could, then just trusting Coach Wells in general. And that's a major part. And then, having a lot of these guys come back and yeah, that was a major part. And I'm happy I did, obviously. And we're not just happy to be here. Coach Wells says it all the time. We're not just happy to be in. We're trying to move forward and kind of get back to where EKU belongs, kind of on that national scale. So
Tucker, Coach touched on it, but for you, what does it mean to have the opportunity to spend Thanksgiving with the team and to have the opportunity to be playing football the last week in November?
Yeah, it's different. Like I said, I normally the past few years we haven't had this opportunity. Very thankful for the opportunity to spend Thanksgiving with these guys. If you ask my mom, she's probably not too thrilled about it. My brother, he actually plays football in Illinois for Monmouth College, and he's not going to be able to come home for Thanksgiving. So she's going to have no boys at the house for Thanksgiving, and she's a little upset about that. So I love you, Mom, if you're listening. But we just, it like I said, it's nice to be here. I'm excited to practice on Thanksgiving, and then actually get to go spend a little bit of time at Shane Burks's grandparents' house. So happy for that, and really excited. Just excited. It's just a great opportunity.
Hey there, John. I appreciate the time. And obviously, you've been in a bunch of different locker rooms throughout your career and just different experiences. How do you think all of that will kind of culminate with this week of practice and preparation for a playoff game?
Well, I really feel like now that I'm considered to be one of the older guys, I'm not young anymore. Like the locker rooms that I have been in, the feel that I have right now for this year is kind of different. Like I feel like this team is more of a team. Like we play for each other. Like to see one person down, I actually see people like be hurt about it. So when it comes to the playoffs, I really feel like something big is gonna happen because don't nobody want to go home. And just like how Tuck said and Coach Wells said, we're not here just to say that we went to the playoffs or be a one and done. I want to go back to Frisco, especially me. I ain't from Texas, but I got Texas in me.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, I'm from Plano, so just outside Frisco as well. So I know where you come from with Timberview and everything. How much of a motivation is it to go back home and, probably play for a million friends and family if you guys do make it there?
Bad. That'll be so loud to me. Like just on a personal scale, without the team being involved. On a personal scale, that would be huge for me.
John, I feel like there's been some moments this year where, when you guys win, you do the Cabin on the Hill song. I feel like some of those wins and some of those Cabin on the Hill songs that you all do, they've been kind of emotional this year. What would it be like to be able to, celebrate after a playoff victory and sing that song one more time?
Yeah, I don't know. That might be the loudest one. That one, and then Bowling Green, the 7 overtimes.
Yeah,
those moments that make you kind of feel the song a little bit more.
When you look back on the season, has there been a moment where you thought, okay, yeah, we've got a chance to do this. We've got a chance to make it to the postseason?
Yes. Truly and honestly, after we beat Bowling Green. Because that just showed me, like, I didn't really say much. I'm not really a talking person. I'm cool with what I seem. I'm not really like a vocal guy. But that game kind of brought a different side of me out, if that makes sense. And then even when we won, just seeing the excitement, like all the way down to even Rickson, like everybody was excited. That kind of was a big moment to me. That kind of was like a pivot, especially with what we went through at the beginning of the season. And to see Wells on the sideline and then we leave with a W, that felt good.
All right, last question. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
As long as I got sweet potatoes and mac and cheese, I'm good. I ain't gonna lie. I need that combination.
Gardner Webb threw for 448 yards against Coastal Carolina when they played them. What do you see from their offense when you watch film, and what's the biggest challenge to trying to slow them down?
Really, the quarterback is their driver. I feel like if we get their quarterback out the game and get him kind of flushed a little bit and make them, even though they want to run the ball, but if you take away their 2 outside playmakers, it makes them one-dimensional. And I feel like if we make them one-dimensional, we got a real good chance of beating.
And the last question for you, it's been said plenty of times already this week, first home playoff game for EKU in 8 years. What do you anticipate the atmosphere is going to be like on Saturday night?
I expect it to be way better than what I thought at first. Because I thought at first it was going to be like blistering cold like it's been. But the weather that we about to get is that I feel like we about to get a lot of good turnout. All the way from the Colonel walk over to the end of the game.